my other self. My trained self.
Yes?
I want to talk to you.
Well?
Oh, Harriet, you are beautiful today.
Am I presentable, Hetty?
Suits me.
I've tried to make the best of the good points.
My passions are deeper than yours. I can't keep on the mask as you do, uncrude and real. You are my appearance in the world.
I am what you wish the world to believe you are.
You are the part of me that has been trained.
I am your educated self.
I am the rushing river. You are the ice over the current.
I am your subtle overtones.
But together we are one woman, the wife of Charles Goodrich.
There, I disagree with you, Hetty. I alone am his wife.
Harriet, how can you say such a thing?
Certainly. I'm the one who flatters him. I'm the one who has to talk with him. If I gave you the chance, you would tell him at once that you dislike him.
I don't love him, that's certain.
You leave all the fibbing to me. He doesn't suspect that my calm, suave manner hides your hatred. Considering the amount of scheming it causes me, it can safely be said that he is my husband.
Oh, if you love him.
I haven't any feelings. It isn't my business to love anybody.
Then why need you object to calling him my husband?
I resent your appropriation for a man who has managed only through the cleverness of my artifice.
You may be clever enough to deceive him, Harriet, but I'm still the one that suffers. I can't forget he's my husband. I can't forget that I might have married John Caldwell.
How foolish of you to remember John, just because we met his wife by chance.
That's what I want to talk to you about. She might be here any moment. I want to advise you on what to say to her this afternoon.
By all means, tell me now and don't interrupt me while she is here. You have the most annoying habit of talking to me when people are present. Sometimes it is all I can do to keep my poise and appear not to be listening to you.
Impress her.
Hetty, dear, is it not my custom to impress people?
I hate her.
I can't let her see that.
I hate her because she married John.
Only after you had refused him.
Was it my fault I refused him?
That's right. Blame me.
It was your fault. You told me he was too poor to ever be able to do anything in painting. Look at him now. Just returned from Paris, 8 years. Famous.
It was too poor a gamble at the time. It was much safer to accept Charles's money and position.
And then John married Margaret within the year.
Out of spite.
Freckled, gawky-looking thing she was, too.
Europe improved her. She was stunning the other morning.
Make her jealous today.
Shall I be haughty, or cordial, or caustic?
Above all else, you must let her know we are rich.
Oh, yes. I do that quite easily now.
You must put it on a bit.
Never fear.
Tell her I love my husband.
My husband.
Are you going to quarrel with me?
No. I have no desire to quarrel with you. It is quite too uncomfortable. I couldn't get away from you if I tried.
You were a stupid fool to make me refuse John. I'll never forgive you, never.
Don't get me all excited. I'll be in no condition to meet her properly this afternoon.
I could choke you for robbing me of John.
Don't. Must me.
You don't know how you have made me suffer.
It is not my business to have heartaches.
You're bloodless. Nothing but sham, while I...
Be quiet! I can't let her see that I've been fighting with my inner self.
And now, after all my suffering, you tell me it has cost you more to be married to Charles than it has cost me? But it's the pain. Here in my heart, I've paid the price. I've paid. Charles is not your husband.
He is.
He isn't.
He is.
He isn't. I'll kill you.
Don't. You're stronger than I.
Say he's mine.
He's ours.
There she is now.
Wait. I can't let the telephone girl down there hear my real self. It isn't proper.
Show Mrs. Caldwell up. I'm so excited. My heart's in my mouth.
A nice state you've put my nerves into.
Don't let her see you're nervous.
Quick, hide or she'll see you shining through me.
Tell her Charles is rich and fascinating. Boast of our friend. Make her feel she needs us.
I'll make her ask John to paint us.
That's just my thought. If John paints our portrait,
We can wear an exquisite gown.
and make him fall in love again, and...
Oh, Margaret, I'm so glad to see you.
That's a lie.
It's enchanting to see you, Harriet.
Bite you if I dared.
Wasn't our meeting a stroke of luck?
I've thought of you so often. To come back and find you living in New York.
Mr. Goodrich has many interests here.
flatter her.
I know. Mr. Goodrich is so successful.
Tell her we're rich.
Won't you sit down?
What a beautiful lamp.
Oh, do you like it? I'm afraid Charles paid an extravagant price.
I don't believe it.
I'm sure he must have.
How well you are looking, Margaret.
Yes, you are not. There are circles under your eyes.
I haven't eaten since breakfast and I'm hungry.
How well you are looking too.
You have hard lines about your lips. Are you happy?
Don't let her know I'm unhappy.
Why shouldn't I look well? My life is full, happy, complete.
I wonder.
Tell her we have an automobile.
My life is complete too.
My heart is torn with sorrow. My husband cannot make a living. He will kill himself if he doesn't get an order for a painting.
You must come and see us in our studio. John has been doing several portraits. He cannot begin to fill his orders.
Tell her we have an automobile.
Do you take lemon in your tea?
Take cream. It's more filling.
No, cream if you please. How cozy.
Cakes. I could eat them all.
How many lumps?
Sugar is nourishing.
3, please. I used to drink very sweet coffee when I was in Turkey. Ever since.
I don't believe you were ever in Turkey.
I wasn't. But it is none of your business.
Have you been in Turkey? Do tell me about it.
Change the subject.
You must go there. You have such taste in dress. You would enjoy seeing their costumes.
Isn't she going to pass the cakes?
John painted several portraits there.
Why don't you stop her bragging and tell her we have an automobile?
Cake?
At last.
Thank you.
Automobile!
Follow up on the costumes with the suggestion that she would make a good model for John. It isn't too early to begin getting what we came for.
What delicious cake.
There's your chance for the auto.
Yes, it is good cake, isn't it? There are always a great many people buying it at Harper's. I sat in my automobile 15 minutes this morning waiting for my chauffeur.
Make her order a portrait.
If you stopped at Harper's, you must have noticed the new gowns at Henderson's. Aren't the shop windows alluring these days?
Even my chauffeur notices them.
I know you have an automobile. I heard you the first time.
I notice gowns with an artist's eye as John does. The one you're wearing is very paintable.
Don't let her see that you're anxious to be painted.
Oh, it's just a little model.
You don't seem anxious to get the order.
Perhaps it isn't the gown itself, but the way you wear it that pleases the eye. Some people can wear anything with grace.
Yes, I'm very graceful.
You flatter me, my dear.
On the contrary, Harriet, I have an intense admiration for you. I remember how beautiful you were as a young girl. In fact, I was quite jealous when John was paying you so much attention.
She's gloating because we lost him.
Those were childhood days in a country town.
She's trying to make you feel that John was only a country boy.
Most great men have come from the country. There is a fair chance that John will be added to the list.
I know it and am bitterly jealous of you.
Undoubtedly, he owes much of his success to you, Margaret. Your ability in economy, and your ability to endure hardships. Those first few years in Paris must have been a struggle.
She's sneering at your poverty.
Yes, they were difficult at first. Not the luxurious start a girl has who marries well.
Deny you married Charles for his money.
But John and I were so congenial in our tastes that we were impervious to unhappiness or hardship.
You love each other. Is it really true?
Did you have all the romance of starving for his art?
She's taunting you. Even with her.
Not for long. Prince Rier soon discovered John's genius and introduced him royally to wealthy Parisians who gave him many orders.
Are you telling the truth or are you lying?
You had so many opportunities there. You must have had great inducements to come back to the States.
We did, but not the kind you think.
John became the rage among Americans traveling in France too. They simply insisted upon him coming here.
Whom is he going to paint here?
What names dare I make up?
Just at present, Miss Dorothy Ainsworth of Oregon is posing. You may not know the name. She is the wealthy daughter of a miner who discovered gold in Alaska.
I dare say there are many Western people we have never heard of.
You must have found social life in New York very interesting after the simplicity of life in our hometown.
There is no need to remind us that our beginnings were the same.
Of course, Charles's family made everything delightful for me. They are so well connected.
Flatter her.
I heard it mentioned the other day that you had made yourself very popular. Someone said you were very clever.
Who told you that?
Nobody.
Confidences should be suspected, or respected, I mean. They said, too, you were gaining some reputation as a critic of art.
I make no pretenses.
Are you and Mr. Goodrich interested in the same things, too?
No.
Yes, indeed. Charles and I are inseparable.
I wonder.
Do you have another cake?
Oh, yes?
I really shouldn't after my big luncheon. John took me to the Ritz. We're invited to the Bedfords for dinner. They have a magnificent house near the drive. I really shouldn't, but the cakes are so good.
Darling?
More tea?
Yes?
No, thank you. How wonderfully life has arranged itself for you. Wealth, position, a happy marriage, every opportunity to enjoy life's pleasures. Beauty, art. How happy you must be.
Don't call me happy. I haven't been happy since I gave up John. All these years without him. A future without him. No. No, I shall win him back. Away from you, away from you.
I sometimes think it is unfair for anyone to be as happy as I am. Charles and I are just as much in love now as when we married. To me, he's just the dearest man in the world.
My John is. I love him so much I could die for him. I'm going through hunger and want to make him great. And he loves me. Worships me.
I should like to meet Mr. Goodrich. Bring him to our studio. John has some sketches to show, not many, because most of them have been purchased by the subjects. He gets as much as $4,000 now.
Don't pay that much.
As much as that.
It's not so much when one considers John as the foremost rank of artists today. A picture painted by him will double and treble in value.
It's all a lie. He's growing weak with despair.
Does he paint all day long?
No, he draws advertisements for our bread.
When you and your husband come, telephone first.
Yes, so he can get the advertisements out of the way.
Otherwise, he might have a sitter, and John refuses to let me disturb him then.
Make her ask for an order.
Lagrange offered to paint me for $1,000.
Louis Lagrange's reputation isn't worth more than that.
Well, I've heard his work well mentioned.
It's true. He's doing splendid work.
Oh, my dear, no. He is praised only by the masses. He is not accepted at all by artists themselves.
Must I really pay full price?
Lagrange thought I'd make a good subject.
Let her but fish for it.
Of course you would. Why don't you let him paint you? If you trust him.
She doesn't seem anxious to have John do it.
But if he's not accepted by artists, it would be a waste of time to pose for him, wouldn't it?
Yes, I think it would.
Give us the order! John is so despondent he can't endure much longer. Help us. Help me. Save us.
Don't seem too eager. And yet, if he only charges 1,000, one might consider it.
If you really wish to be painted, why don't you give a little more and get a portrait that's really worthwhile? John might be induced to paint you a little below his usual price, considering you used to be such good friends.
That's very nice of you to suggest, but still, I don't know.
God's sake, say yes!
Of course, John is very peculiar in these matters. He sets his value on his work and simply thinks it beneath him to discuss price.
You needn't try to make us feel small.
Still, I might quite delicately mention inasmuch that you have many influential friends, that you'd be happy to
Finish what I don't want to
Help her
say!
out!
Of course, introductions will follow the exhibition of my portrait. No doubt.
Be patronizing.
No doubt I shall be able to introduce your husband to his advantage.
Saved!
If I should find John in a propitious mood, I shall take pleasure for your sake in telling him of your beauty. Just as you're sitting now would make a lovely pose.
We can go now.
Don't let her feel she's doing us a favor.
It would give me great pleasure to add my name to your husband's list of patronesses.
Run home and tell John the good news!
I little thought when I came for a pleasant chat about old times it would develop into business arrangements. I had no idea you wanted to be painted, Harriet. By Lagrange, too. Well, I came just in time to rescue you.
Run home and tell John the good news. Hurry! Hurry!
You managed the order very neatly. She doesn't suspect that you wanted it.
Now, if I'm not satisfied with my portrait, I shall blame you, Margaret dear. I'm relying upon your opinion of John's talent.
She doesn't suspect what you came for. Run home and tell John!
You've always had a brilliant mind, Margaret.
Ah, it is you who flatter now.
You don't have to stay so long. Hurry home.
One does not flatter when one tells the truth.
I must be going, or you will have me completely under your spell.
Yes, do go. I have to dress for dinner.
Oh, don't hurry.
I hate you.
No, I really should. But I shall look forward to seeing you often at our studio. I find you so stimulating.
I hate you.
It is indeed gratifying to find a kindred spirit.
I came for your gold.
It is delightful to know you again.
I'm going to make you and your husband suffer.
My kind regards to John.
He has forgotten all about you.
He shall be happy to receive them.
I can hardly wait to talk to him again.
Shall I wait then, until you send me word?
I shall speak to John as soon as I can and tell you when to come.
I love him. I love him.
He's starving. I'm starving!
I'm going to take him away from you.
I want your money and your influence! I'm going to rob you!
delightful afternoon.
It's been a joy to see you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, my dear.
Well,
Well,
who?
guess.
Impossible.
Try.
Then
Answer.
what?
Truth.
Again?
Stop.
Here?
No.
There?
No.
Answer.
No.
Whereupon,
Never.
indeed,
Gone.
valued?
Very much.
How
Very.
terrible.
Nonetheless.
Impudence!
Go.
Yes.
Come.
Why?
Why not?
But if,
It might.
could it?
Do you?
For life.
Forever.
Although I,
Whereas you
because she,
care.
whether you,
Or I.
either one.
Moreover,
Was it so?
you doubt.
Proof.
There it is.
Where is it?
Are words nothing?
Everything?
Enough.
Quite, but
But what?
where is it?
Look!
I cannot.
You will not.
Curses.
How dare you?
I denounce.
Leave me.
Not
At
before.
once.
Answer me.
I won't.
You will.
Sunrise.
You've said it.
Said what?
The truth?
Words, words, words.
I'll not let.
Electric buzz.
That ends it.
Quite mad.
Fool.
Coward.
Come.
No.
Don't resist.
The law?
A star.
You.
I.
I didn't know.
Of course
I don't believe it.
not. Imprisoned.
You wouldn't.
Inevitable.
I implore you.
Without doubt.
Forgive.
Too late.
Love.
Love?
Love. Love. Love.
Love.
The ring?
They're coming.
Hide me.
You must pay.
The letter.
Which one?
His to you.
That.
Out with it.
You read it?
Never.
Give it to me.
No.
Command.
Now your answer.
Revenge.
You dare.
My promise.
On your knees.
Vampire.
You beg.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Crimson. Blue.
Oh.
Violet. Purple.
Hush.
Orange. Yellow.
Stop.
Magenta.
Oh, my head. Hello, dear.
Felix, I've invited Diana and Mrs. Packard over for dinner. You better hurry and wash up a bit.
What? Am I to be the only man again?
Can't help it, darling. Mr. Packard's in Washington and all of Diana's suitors are in the trenches.
There must be some old graybeard left somewhere to fight for Diana.
Oh, there are a few leftovers floating around, but Diana doesn't like them. If she can't get the best male company, she prefers female.
Diana's a peach. What she should have done is married one of the boys before they all went over. Poor Aubrey Lawrence was madly in love with her.
Hurry up. There's soot on your cheek.
All right. If If I have to dine with 3 women, I'd better look my best.
Yes, my dear. Cock of the walk.
There are the evening papers. We've gained 3 miles.
My dear, your maid told me to come right in.
Oh, Mrs. Packard, I'm so happy you can make it on such short notice.
I jumped at the invitation. It's so lonesome with John away. How lucky you are to have your husband at home.
Thanks to his business, the government prefers him here. Take off your things.
I'm a little early, but I took advantage of the chance to ride this way in Mrs. Morgan's car. Do you like Mrs. Morgan?
Why, yes. Don't you?
Well, I don't think you ought to like her.
Why not?
Oh, she has a long, bad tongue.
Talks about people?
Does she? You ought to hear her. But then you ought not to hear her.
About me?
Now, my dear, I've come for a jolly little dinner party and I'm not going to gossip.
Still, if she said anything against me, I ought to protect myself.
Well, yes, you should. And when she said... Oh, no, my dear. Why should I tell you?
Why shouldn't you tell me?
Yes, why shouldn't I, really? But you may never forgive me.
Not forgive you for protecting me?
That's true. You must protect yourself. It is my duty to tell you.
What is it? You have me quite scared.
Well, if she tells me a thing like that, she will tell everyone else. By this time, no doubt. It's all over town.
How dreadful! What have I done?
It isn't what you've done. It's about Diana Chesbrough.
Oh, she's coming tonight.
Is she? Your invitation?
Why, yes.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Well,
But how can gossip couple my name with Diana's? She's one of my best friends.
oh, is she?
I'm quite sure she is.
Well, maybe she is. Still, they wonder why Diana didn't marry one of the boys before they went off to war.
Why should she
Yes,
have?
why should she have, really? Still, anyone as attractive as Diana, she had plenty of chances, didn't she?
Oh, yes.
That's what they say. All nice men, too, and 1 or 2 real catches. Don't you think it's strange she didn't marry one of them?
Why, yes. I do think it's strange.
You do. There, I said it. But why do you think she didn't?
I don't know.
Well, what does she say?
I think that
Exactly! It's just what everyone's saying! And everyone feels so sorry for you.
Sorry for me.
Well, my dear, you get all the sympathy.
What for?
Is it possible you have been so blind?
Blind? I?
You're with each other a great deal, aren't you?
Yes.
And your husband?
That's what you mean.
Oh, my poor dear, that's what they say.
Just what do they say?
That she and... Oh, no, my dear, of course I don't believe it.
But just in exact words. What do they say?
They couple their names together. It's true. They say that, well, I don't believe it, but they say that Diana didn't marry one of the boys before they went off to war because, well, Mrs. Morgan said it was because, well, oh, Diana. Dear sweet thing, good evening.
Hello, Mrs. Packard. Hello, we need old top. I'm early. I came straight up from town after dressing at the club. How's everybody?
I've been nursing at the hospital all afternoon.
Isn't Enid a trump? doing the home nursing and releasing someone else to get the glory over there. I've gone over there myself.
Why didn't you?
It's the law. I have relatives in the trenches. Oh, I'd love the romance being over there. Enid, get the letter from your brother and show it to Mrs. Packard. He gives such unusually interesting descriptions.
Yes, it is most interesting. Excuse me a moment. It's in my desk upstairs.
My dear Miss Chesbrough, pardon me for seeming to presume, but I'm only trying to save you. Aware what people are saying about you?
Saying about me?
Well, they wouldn't say it to you.
What wouldn't they say?
So much easier to flatter than to say disagreeable things.
People are saying disagreeable things about me.
You haven't heard?
No, but I should certainly like to know.
Of course you would. Any young girl like you. My dear, do you really think you should come to this house?
Come to this house? Why, Enid and I went to school together. She's one of my oldest and best friends.
Best, did you say?
You doubt it?
After what she said.
She said something to make you doubt her friendship to me? Surely you're mistaken.
My dear girl, I have eyes and ears. I can see and hear.
What did Enid say?
She said she wished you had married one of the boys before they were...
That.
You admit it.
What
And
do-
still you come here.
What do I admit? I don't follow your reasoning. I don't see.
Of course you don't see. Love is always blind.
Love? We haven't said a word about
Of
love.
course not. It is a delicate word to use, and in this matter, well, the world does not think it becoming.
Mrs. Packard, I don't understand your innuendos. Tell me the plain facts. What are people saying? And what has love got to do with it?
Mr. Haldeman
Felix?
and you.
I?
They couple your names together.
They say that Felix and I? It's a lie.
It doesn't matter if it is a lie. The point is what people say.
People who say such things have rotten little minds that haven't enough brains to entertain themselves.
My dear Miss Chesbrough,
And you're just the same for repeating such slander.
you insinuate
I do
you have insulted me.
no more than you've insulted me.
My dear Miss Chesbrough, you will suffer for this. I come here in all friendliness of spirit to tell you, to protect you from the slanders of the world, and you repay me by insinuating. Oh.
You listen to idle tongues and come here and rob me of my happiness by putting poison into my mind.
I was telling you the truth. People do not thank you for telling them the truth.
I know what the truth is. I know that Enid and I are friends, and that Enid and Felix and I are friends, and that's all. Felix would never care for another woman. He adores Enid.
You know more than Mrs. Haldeman herself? I think not. Just a few moments ago in this very room, she told me that Felix was in love with you. She pretends to be your friend, but in her heart, she hates you.
It's not true.
Miss Chesbrough, it is not pleasant to argue with you. I shall find my hostess, make my excuses, and not stay to dinner.
If I've been utterly too rude, I humbly apologize. But I simply cannot allow you to circulate such outrages.
Hello, Taya. When did you get here? Want to help you mix a cocktail?
Felix, a terrible thing has happened. They talk about us.
Who is they and who is us?
People are talking about you and me.
Why? What have we done? Do you like a drop of orange bitters?
You're not taking it seriously.
But what is there?
That's just it. What is there? If there were something, it's most embarrassing for me. I don't know how to say it to you.
My dear Diana, you can say anything to me. Haven't I proved myself a real friend?
But if what they say is really true,
Don't you know whether it's true or not?
I thought I did. But after she said it, I began to wonder.
Wonder what?
Oh,
Out with it!
you know I love Enid.
Why, you've grown up together.
I wouldn't hurt her for
No,
worlds.
you trump.
So you do love her more than anyone else, don't you?
Of course, but
Don't say but.
why?
Why did you say but?
Did I say but? I don't remember. What was I saying?
You said, of course, but.
I can't remember. You have me all confused.
You don't think I'm in love with you, do you?
Great Scott! Do they say you're in love with me?
So you've never thought, have you?
I'm not so conceited as to think that I could.
Oh, then. But,
Well, now what? But
are you in love with me?
no.
Thank goodness. But,
What?
they say that's what they say.
That I'm in love with you.
And that I'm in love with you.
And
Exactly.
holy smokes!
But it's not true.
No.
But they say it's true.
And what they say.
Amounts to the same thing.
What can we do?
That's what I'm asking you.
Go straight to Enid.
But Enid believes it.
Nonsense.
She said so.
What she said so.
Mrs. Packard said they all say it.
How do they know?
They don't, but they think it, which amounts to the same thing.
But Enid can't believe it.
But there's proof Enid does believe it.
It's too absurd.
Mrs. Packard said that you said that Enid said that you were in love with me, or something like that, and that Enid hates me.
That's not true. I know she likes you.
And Mrs. Packard wouldn't dare say anything.
She said Enid hates you.
Perhaps Enid does hate me. Perhaps she's jealous over nothing. Perhaps she's been imagining things. Perhaps she too has been saying things all along, making it seem.
Diana, Mrs. Packard says you've insulted her and she feels she can no longer stay for dinner.
I apologized to Mrs. Packard, but she wouldn't accept
You
my.
do admit you insulted me.
Only after she insulted me.
You hear, Mrs. Haldeman? It is as I said. She accused me of insulting her when I was trying only to be kind and give her a little motherly advice.
Mrs. Packard has taken it upon herself to repeat some things people are saying that are manifestly untrue.
Whether they are true or not, it is highly unpleasant for me to have this altercation in my house.
I can tell by your voice that you're willing to believe that woman.
Mrs. Haldeman, I resent being called that woman.
I don't care what you resent. You come in here and you've spoiled a beautiful friendship I've had all my life. I don't care what I call you.
But in my house, My guests?
Don't worry. Won't be your guest a moment longer. I'm leaving.
No, Diana. I can't let you leave in anger.
Oh, but I do. I leave with my heart black against you for listening to what she said.
Did I say?
You said that Felix and I were in love with each other.
I never said such a thing in all my life.
Well, Mrs. Packard in this very room not a few moments ago.
I never said such a thing in all my life.
Can you look me in the eyes and tell me you never said it?
I never said it. Never, never, never.
Didn't you say that you have eyes and ears, and that you can see and hear, and that everybody was saying?
What everybody is saying isn't what I say.
Didn't you say that Felix was in love with me?
I didn't know that. She told me that.
I never told you that.
My dear, you did.
I never said such a thing in all my life. And how can you imagine?
I imagine nothing. I know what I see and what I hear, and you certainly told me. You had to know everything I had heard in order to protect yourself, so I told you in a friendly way, trying to be a help. And there we are.
Yes, where are we?
You have no one to blame but yourself.
We have no one to blame but you.
Mrs. Packard, I didn't know I had to defend myself until you had insinuated.
It was you yourself who told me that he was in love with her.
I said nothing of the sort. I said that he said.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Didn't you tell your wife that you wanted to marry Miss Chestra?
I never said such a thing in my whole life. And whoever said it got it out of whole cloth.
He denies it, of course.
He has to deny it. To admit it would be false.
Whether it was true or false, he would have to deny it.
Why would he have to deny it?
Because the ethics of a gentleman would make him deny it in order to protect you.
So, it doesn't matter what we do or say, nothing can wipe the miserable thoughts from your mind.
Not my mind. Everybody's mind. I have nothing to do with it.
Enid, can't you stand up and defend us?
You admit you must be defended.
The whole world has to be defended from women like you. Why, if you were in my house, I'd show you the door. Enid, show her the door. Prove that you believe Felix and me. Know that there isn't or hasn't been anything between us but the most innocent friendship. Don't move. You don't trust me.
I've always trusted you. I never had the slightest suspicion. But perhaps I've been blind. Perhaps the world has been able to see better from a distance and understand.
Are you going to take the world's word over ours? Are you going to listen to a silly gossip and let one moment of slander outweigh the love and loyalty you've had from Diana and me for a lifetime?
Well, why don't you tell your wife you love her?
I love my wife, but I see no reason to make a public statement of it. I stated that publicly when I married her. She knows I love her, don't you?
Do I?
He adores you.
Don't you know it?
But Diana's pretty.
Felix, I leave this house forever. Thanks to you, Mrs. Packard, I've lost 2 friends and meant more to me than even the world's opinion. I shall never see either of you again.
Diana, come back! It's too outrageous to allow such contemptible gossip to break your friendship with you.
You see, he does not want her to go.
It would never be the same between Enid and me again.
I do not want her to go because I do not want an evil tongue like yours triumphant. If you had come into our house and stolen our silver, you would be less a thief than you are now. No silver can be bought, but tarnished friendship can never be made right again. You have caused this by your malicious remarks from my regard for Miss Jasper.
I didn't say it.
Pardon me, you did.
I didn't say it. She did.
I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
Does it matter? It's done. Done. Our friendship is over. I won't leave without my memory white and clean. So, I'm going to tell the truth. I don't care what the world believes, but I want Enid to know I've never had a thought against her. So I'm going to tell you something. I would have kept a secret rather than died tell it.
Oh, now we will hear something.
Be careful, Diana. You're under no obligation
Oh,
to...
so you know what she's going to say.
No, he doesn't. It is my secret. I am the only one who is known. There is only one man I love or have ever loved. And he's over there.
Oh, she's making it up. A likely story.
I'm not making it up. If you don't believe me, I'll have to tell you his name.
No, Diana, it's not fair to ask that of you.
They will not believe it, but I'll do anything for Enid. She will have to know. It's Aubrey Lawrence.
Aubrey Lawrence? He wanted to marry you.
It's true he did, but Diana wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you?
Because I did.
You married him?
I did. The last day before he sailed.
Your family didn't like him.
That's why I didn't tell them. But you can go and tell them, Mrs. Packard.
Aubrey Lawrence, did you really, Diana?
He hasn't any money.
But he's straight to the core. I'm awfully glad, Diana.
So am I, Diana. Forgive me.
There's the door, Mrs. Packard. The world outside is waiting to hear the latest gossip.
Well, I'll go, my dear, because I see I've offended you and you're not yet ready to forgive me. But I can assure you, I will not breathe it to a soul. Not to a soul.
Diana, I'll never forgive you for not telling me you married Aubrey. Why didn't you tell me you married Aubrey?
Because I didn't.
You didn't.
What you said?
Oh, what I said. What does it matter what I said?
But she'll tell everyone.
Of course she will.
But if it isn't true,
It might be true.
but it's not. Is it?
Told you it wasn't.
Now I don't know whether to believe you or not.
Nor will they know whether to believe her or not.
But what will Aubrey think, Diana, when he hears
He will wish it were true.
it? But what will he say about you?
He will say that I wish it were true.
And do you?
I do.
Have you found out since he left that you really love him?
Madly. Madly. Madly.
Shall I cable him that?
I already have.
You haven't.
I have. I'm going to marry him by proxy.
Do have a cocktail on that.
But when we tell people that you've married him by proxy, after Mrs. Packard tells them you married him already, what will people say?
What will people say? In any case, exactly what they choose.